There we
Ah,
go.
we got it. We're on. Woo! All right, guys. We have had tech drama galore
Oh,
today, but we're here to bring you guys the
all
alpha, the news,
happening.
and to discuss, is the Bitcoin bull run in danger? Are we done? Is it over? Matty, what do you reckon so far?
I reckon this podcast was on the verge of being done.
Oh,
Especially,
so did I,
we
man.
just had a camera not working. We had YouTube close down the link twice. The stream deck decided not to present. We had all the alpha prepared, and now I've got to the point where I'm thinking, mate, let's just do a Roaring Kitty 2.0 after watching Dumb Money, and let's see what the hell we can do in this grand situation. Because, mate, it's absolutely chaos out there. The markets
really
are chaos. The podcast chaos.
It's
The weather's
just,
chaos here in Melbourne. So, yeah, I got no idea. Let's just have some fun.
Today, guys, what we're going to be covering is the crypto cycles. Really important. Are we heading towards the end? Which I'm going to give you a bit of a sneak peek. It's getting towards the end. We're going to cover the data, when we may be looking at taking some profits and starting to finally exit the market, as well as some really important altcoins that are being launched next week, something that may shape the future of the crypto market. But not only that, there's a lot of opportunity that's going to come with it. So, guys, let's get straight into it with Matty. Show us what you're looking at on Bitcoin.
Oh, all right, let's get straight into it. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my chart here on Bitcoin.
Guys, please help us out by smashing the like button and also sharing this link with your friends, because we definitely lost about 30 viewers over the last couple of minutes just trying to get this thing up.
There is something to take note of for people that are on their phone watching. One of our audience members messaged me the other day. He goes, mate, I find it hard to like on the phone. You've actually got to drag down the comments screen, and then there's a like button behind it. So if you can't find the like button, that's where it is. But
TB in the chat saying, poor Aussie's thinking it's cold. Where are you from, mate? Let us know in the chat.
I'm actually curious, mate, because it is fresh here in Melbourne at the moment.
Yeah, we've got jackets on inside the office. So.
With a heater on. So, yeah, it's all fun and games. Looking at Bitcoin at the moment, so we've been covering this all week, right? And we spoke about the fact of the market at the moment is in quite an uncertainty spot. We're expecting the interest rates to come through in September. We'll talk about that in a little while. But I did have targets in mind. I shared these on Monday. And this is where I'm looking at the moment, right? We had this big downtrend that occurred from the weekend, and we've continued to slip from there. A lot of uncertainty at the moment. Seeing a lot of posts about the US 500. Yes, it just hit all-time highs again last night, but there's a lot of people going, is the economy on the verge of collapse? That whole narrative is starting to come together again as we are overly stretched on the US 500. But I'm looking at this right now, Bitcoin. My target is to hit back towards 108, 109K. I put a post up in Empire about this last night because what you can see here from a technical standpoint is you can see a bear flag. Now, this is a continuation pattern that if it does break, the expectation is for it to fall with the length of the flag pole. However, given that this is falling into a key level of support at around 109K, we've been watching this zone for basically the last week or so. And my expectation here from last night was that we're going to pull back from that 114K. I know, Ced, you were talking about 114K was another level that we've both been watching. It also coincided with the 50 EMA. Right now, you can see we're breaking down below that. I'm looking around 109-ish, 108. If that does break, then I'm looking further down towards 106K, which brings us towards roughly or 104K, brings us towards the 200 EMA. If we lose all of this, then I'm calling sub 100 straight into this big fat order zone.
Sub 100 to me would be warning signs.
Mate, I'm telling you, right now, if we drop this level at 107,500, there is a stronger expectation that we're going to hit towards that sub 100. And that's where I'm looking at the moment. If we get any spikes up out of the blue, then what I'm expecting is that 115K is where we're going to get rejected quite again. There is a lot of supply mounting at the moment above Bitcoin, right?
Amazing. Well, look, Matty, I'm very aligned with that. I think the $110,000 mark, that's going to be our first stop. If that doesn't hold, shit's going to look pretty scary if it starts heading down towards 106, which, is quite common. But I'm going to show you guys some data in a second. But also, if we do break that 106, heading below 100K, I think that would more or less be a massive shakeout to the crypto market. That's when you're going to see everyone on Twitter or X start to say, oh, we're bearish. That's it. It's game over. We don't really want to see that kind of price action happen. But hey, the market makers, that's what they love to do. They love to push price down to make you feel a certain kind of way. They want to make you feel as if it's done, it's over. You're just going to make further losses from here before they buy up all the selling pressure that you guys are providing them and they swing it in the direction to serve them. Before we get on to is the bull market over though, guys, can we all just drop a comment in the chat about Matty's mustache? This thing is sticking out like dog's balls. I can see it on the,
Mate, on the screen. It sticks out massive.
Oh,
look at
that light on, man. You got the dirty Sanchez going on.
It is fantastic.
It is massive. So let's jump into the charts. And I want to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek.
Before you jump onto that, I want to ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
If there's all this bullish activity, and we're talking about institutions, and we talk about hedge funds, and it's always been the narrative for a little while now, right? And we keep seeing all these posts, X purchase, person purchased $8 billion. This one here is going to purchase another $135 million and so forth, right? Why the hell are we still coming down?
I'm going to show you why.
This is what I want to understand, because the X bloody face of everyone is like, oh my God, that's it, run, run, run. And then all of a sudden it's, hey, crypto market over.
Well, this is the thing, yeah. It's not actual crypto traders selling their Bitcoin. It's the market makers.
Market makers, definitely.
And I want to show you guys here is just some quick data. So this is a chart that I put together probably about 5 years ago. And the way this chart works is it shows each bull market. And the way I've measured it out is in terms of blocks. I know a lot of people say, oh, 480 days between each cycle and all this bullshit. Relax. We're going to look here at the blocks. And you can see that every halving event comes around every 210,000 blocks that are mined within the crypto market. From that, what we find is we get 70,000 blocks of bull market. And you can see that bull market ended in December. Then we have 70,000 blocks of bear market, another 70,000 of sideways consolidation before the next halving. Now, if you're a really good crypto trader, you'll use this chart and you'll be able to get in the yellow zone before the big market swing takes place. Once again, we look at the next bull market and you can see same thing. We had the halving event. Price then ran up until when? Once again, December. December then pulled back 70,000 blocks, 70,000 sideways before entering the next halving, which took place at 630,000 blocks. Price then took up for 70,000 once again. Coming into December, end of November, that was the end of that last bull market. Prices then dumped for another 70,000, which took us into the current bull market. And where are we right now, guys? We are in the red zone and we are heading towards what I'm predicting will be the potential end of this bull market. And I know the reason why. And it's something that I shared with our Empire Premium community on Monday. There's actually a fundamental announcement behind it. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of what that looks like. So when it comes to is the crypto bull market over, I personally think right now we are here where I've circled this part on the chart basically towards the end of the final leg that is going to take place. There is one important thing though. And if you've been in crypto for a while, you'll know something. But coming towards the end of the bull market, what's that feeling that you feel?
Despair.
No, you feel euphoria.
Oh, the euphoria one, that's when everything's blown off the top.
When everything's pumping.
Yeah.
That's right. So let's put it this way. There's been a lot of hedge funds, a lot of people that have bought through the ETF, a lot of institutions. They've all gone ahead and bought Bitcoin. All right?
Yes.
They haven't yet had that big euphoria run. Eventually, these guys are going to need to take profits. No doubt about it. There's going to be a time where they're going to sit there and they're going to say, okay, time to sell off. We've made our money. In order for them to sell, there has to be enough adoption by the retail and by, unfortunately, as bad as it seems, but the mums and dads who want to go ahead and buy crypto in order for them to sell to those people who are buying, who are producing that buying pressure.
Yep.
We don't have any of that right now. If anything, the crypto market is still quite quiet. I can see of how many people are on this call right now.
That wasn't because we stuffed up the link?
That may have been because we stuffed up the link. But until we start seeing the mums and dads and everyone start to get into the market as potential exit liquidity, I don't think that this market is at an end just yet. In saying all of this, though, going back to my chart, I predict that we're going to be getting the interest rate cuts in 2 weeks' time, which, no, that's the wrong button, which could give us that last final leg of the bull market. And you know what? For most of us that have been here for a long time, you'll know that the final leg in the bull market tends to be when the most amount of money is made. So if we are going to get that final leg, which I'm predicting that we will, I think that it's quite possible. There's a high probability that will happen. Not to mention, though, that there is a little bit of a shakeout occurring now. That final leg could be when the money is made, when people start to get interested back into the markets. Then coming into around December, at the end of this year, I'm going to predict that that could be a time for, or me personally, I'm going to look at taking some profits, starting to DCA out of the market and get ready for the next market swing. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Matty?
Mate, I'm very similar to you, right? But the thing that I love to understand, or not actually love to understand, the thing I love about crypto is it's 24/7, 7 days a week. And honestly, I don't care if it goes up or down. I'm just going to trade the shit out of it, regardless.
Well,
right? This is the thing, right? The whole aspect of the bull market, it's fantastic because it's easy.
Yeah.
You make easy money. You know, you can throw a dart at a dartboard and good luck. The reality is, and we spoke about this last night before on Zoom with the team, saying like it's not the same retail market where you can just go in 2017, 2021, throw a bit here, throw a bit there, hopefully it goes up. You have to be a little bit more strategic with it all.
Yes.
Right? And if you look at the environment at the moment, you're getting these choppy ranges. You're getting people going, I'm going to buy and then hold, and hopefully it's going to go up. But it might go up 10% to only drop 15%.
Yeah.
Right, within 2 weeks' time. So understanding when to get in, when to get out is really important, but also making the most out of the opportunities that present themselves. Right? Sometimes I've got to switch into the DGen coins. Right? Sometimes I've got to switch into trading Bitcoin. Sometimes I've got to sit on my hands and just wait for the market.
Yep.
I think that's the piece that's missing in crypto still, is people understanding the fact of how they're going to transfer their wealth into areas that's going to make the most for them. Versus, hey, I'm just going to sit in one position and hope for the best.
That's right. Well, let's talk about why the market's dumping, because there is a little bit going on. I just tried to ask Grok a question and didn't want to win today. But we can see that right now, today, there is going to be $14.6 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiring. Expect some volatility. Options are more or less a way that people like to trade. It's not so big in Australia. It's more so a thing that they use overseas. But what that does is they predict what we call a strike price. And if they miss by a certain percentage, there's a level, what we call the max pain level. And the market makers like to more or less push the market to that maximum pain price for those traders, or those people who are engaging in options. So what we can see right now is that today that's going to happen. Expect a whole bunch of volatility. I think that we could still come down much more, at least to that 110,000K mark. You know what? It's dropped about $300 since we started this call. Just looking at Matty's chart now, so it is quite possible that that's on the cards. But however, throughout all of this, what we're still seeing is a massive amount of accumulation taking place within Ethereum. Bitmine came out and bought $354.6 million worth of ETH, now holding over $8 billion worth of Ethereum. So it's absolutely crazy. Matty, give us a chart on ETH. How's it looking?
All right, let me just drag this up for everyone. So Ethereum's a really interesting one because I was reading some notes today. They're saying like Ethereum's set to be the Wall Street token, right? But I look at this and Ethereum, yes, it broke its all-time high, but it's still struggling to hold up at this level. So the way I'm looking at this at the moment, sorry, I haven't updated this chart for the remainder of the week, but I'm looking at this level here, this 113 Fibonacci level, right? And realistically, I want to see this hold on the weekly time frame. I'm not really trading this at the moment because obviously the chop, and across the board at the moment, I've seen my positions go up 1%, down 2%, up 3%, down 3%. And it's just like, what for? I might as well just wait. Wait for a clear direction, wait for this week to play out, because from an obvious standpoint, there's a lot of indecision within the market, but there is a lot of setups also taking place. But I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to have that final push down, reset, and hopefully cement that 109K as support. But to keep it really simple on Ethereum at the moment, I'm hoping for the greater good of Ethereum holders that we hold around that 4,450 mark. If we get a weekly close below this level, then I'm expecting $4,000-ish again on Ethereum before any further price action. But I want to talk to you about something alongside of Ethereum, right? We just mentioned interest rates.
Yes.
Okay. Now, talking about this, and we spoke about this a lot, we know that interest rates in the shorter term are bullish, right? That's what we're expecting.
Now, wait, rephrase that. You've just said that, interest rates are bullish. Wait, when
Interest
interest
rates,
rates go down,
interest rates go down.
when the
Correct.
interest rates go down, it tends to be bullish for the market.
Correct. So what I'm thinking in this grand scheme of things is the fact that until we have the interest rates, I think we're going to keep slowly slipping. And
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. In the lead up to the interest rate cut itself, I'm expecting institutions to push price down as hard as they can,
to flush it one
to
more time.
flush it one more time
Well,
before
yes.
they actually execute the rate cuts
Okay,
itself.
so let's go back and have a look last time that we had the interest rate cut in last September. And you can see that, yes, we did indeed get exactly that. We did put in a bottom around the 6th of August, the last market cycle, when we had the last market cycle last year when we had the interest rate cuts. Not long after, we rallied, which I think we've seen very similar price action right here. You can see there was a top, we rallied above that. They then slammed it down one more time, but we put in a higher low, and that led to around the 7th of September. Knowing that the rate cuts were on the 18th, price then started to get factored in from the 7th, where we got the rate cuts. It then, of course, the market makers, once again, they knew that everyone entered based on the rate cut. So what have they done? They came and flushed them. They flushed them one last time before sending price up into the stratosphere. So let's go and compare that to how we're looking right now on the charts. And we know that the interest rate cut, same thing, 17th of September. So I'll just draw another line. That's my line to more or less remind me to get in. But the 17th of September, there we are. We've put in that low already, that big low. I think we come down if we can hold a higher high from this next dump. You know what? We might even come down and break that. But coming into a week, probably 2 weeks before, that's where I want to be in the market. So around this period of the chart, I'm not doing it so much from a time perspective, from a price perspective, but more so from a time perspective.
Yep.
Because from here, I think that's when people are going to start saying, well, hey, wait a minute, rate cuts are next week. Rate cuts have been bullish for however knows how long in markets. Let's start getting in for where price will then go.
Yep.
So that is more or less and I've said this on the last couple of calls, but that's more or less my time-based prediction rather than the price-based prediction.
There was I had a chart, and I don't know where it is. I'm trying to find it for everyone. But there was this chart based upon the fact when we did a lot of this analysis when the US election was on.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Dow Jones average over the last, I think it was 9.
Yeah.
Right? I've got it somewhere. I'll share it when I find it. I'll post it in Empire. But the fact of the matter is here, when this occurs in the year after the electional period, you get this chop within the market. It's quite normal. And leading into September, October, it's even quite normal. But from October through to November, through to December, you typically get that run up, called the Christmas pump.
Yes,
right? And it's happened on average like every 4 years, with the election cycles. I'm gonna try to find the chart, but that's what I'm expecting. October, November, December, expecting a little bit more ease. Hopefully, we get that.
One way you can look at it is
that interest rate cut in September, and they're expecting consecutives as well.
One way we look at it is you come here, you come to CoinGlass, you click on Bitcoin returns, and from here you can see that historically, Bitcoin's Q3 to Q4 returns, they're not too bad at all. Usually Q4.
Well, that's the data, right? That's what we're looking at.
So usually from September onwards, you can see here during a bull cycle, it's usually quite green. Even in a bear cycle, like it's not.
What do we have?
We had some pretty big.
We had some 1 month that was 34% in December, but that was in 13.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, I mean, 3% drops aren't that bad if you've got 40% pushes in October.
Well, that's the
November.
thing. Last year, look, so 7%, 10%, 37% in November.
And then a 2% drawdown. Like
by the end of December, it started to pull back. So, yeah, look, that goes basically with what we're saying. And I think that's highly possible. Let's get into some of the other news. First off, Pyth has come out and done a partnership with the US government to distribute economic data on chain. Matty, do you think this now means that they're going to stop dodging shit up?
No.
No, I don't reckon either.
Definitely not.
Nah. But you know what? There's a website that you can use these days. It's called Trueflation, and that pulls really, from what I'm hearing, more accurate data on inflation than what the government is reporting.
Yep.
Right? Because it's got data points set in different areas, so they can actually get real live price feeds of what the inflation is, more so at a more live level. I wonder if that's going to start being implemented now with Pyth and all this coming together, because if it does, it's going to make a really big difference to the economic data and our future to be able to forecast what it's going to look like at these events if we have all those tools put in.
I'm really interested to see how they use this. They haven't stipulated how it's going to be used properly.
Well,
It says distribute economic data on chain. Okay.
So, well,
what does that actually mean?
So what Pyth does is Pyth is an oracle, very
Yes.
similar to Chainlink. And it's able to connect real life, say Web 2 price feeds into Web 3, into the digital economy, essentially.
Yeah.
So that would be what Pyth would be used for, be able to get the real data and present it then on the blockchain. But let's have a look. What's the price of Pyth doing? Because we can see it's thrown a massive green dildo.
This one here is a real interesting one for me because I was talking about Pyth when we had this original dip and this breakout, right? Around that 13-cent mark. And the Empire community that's on this call today, you guys would know I was monitoring this religiously, right? Now, this has gone sideways for a large period of time. And you talk about Pyth, that's a 58% range that it currently was in. Now, off the back of yesterday's news, we rallied directly off the order zone, off the base of support, and have absolutely pumped out the gate. Now, Pyth itself, yesterday, it pushed 103%.
Massive.
Talk about volatility, absolutely huge. From a standpoint now, what I'm looking at, I am looking at Pyth for a bit of a pullback. I mean, anything that punches 100%, probably going to get a decent pullback.
With the news is factored in now.
Yes. So I'm looking at this, guys. I'm still going to do the old, breakout, retest of support following this. And the thing with this is now is, because it has had such a momentum push, the expectation for me is the momentum will still continue at some stage, but you've got to expect a pullback. Now, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the 50 fib level from the Fibonacci ratio. You also got the 200 EMA as well at the resistance point. So realistically, we've had the breakout. I want to see the retest. I'm going to set an alert here right now at 17.5 cents. Once that goes off, then I'll relook at Pyth, but I'm not going to gamble this coin now that has pumped 105%. I'm just going to wait for it to cool down.
No, I'm the same on Pyth.
I will say I was a little bit hurt by it, the fact that it just decided to just go boom after monitoring it for so long, but it is what it is. You can't be in everything 24/7.
No, well, that's exactly right. So, yeah, just really cautious there on Pyth. I'm potentially looking at taking some shorts. But you see the price of Bitcoin right now? It's fluctuating $200 up and down in a single 1 minute candle. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is wild.
Let's talk about the big altcoin. First, before we do, guys, please smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet already subscribed. We go live every Friday to bring you guys live analysis and crypto altcoin alpha. And usually we don't have so many tech issues when we start our calls. However, this time round we did. We apologize, but we're back. And you know what? No matter what, we still made it for the call. Me and Maddie had a little bit of bickering behind the scenes as we were making it happen. But you know what? Every week we show up for you guys because we know that you guys need the alpha.
Look, it's been a big week, mate. We're in the midst of launching Empire 2.0. The community have seen it. The beta test is ongoing at the moment. It is going to be the crypto hub of the internet.
100%.
Without a doubt. So, look, it's okay to have a little bit of stress in your life at the moment. But Ceds, we've got another big alpha token that we've been monitoring. Nice. Go for it.
World Liberty Financial Token from the Trumps finally is going to be launching very, very soon. Probably one of the most anticipated coin launches of the year. I had some friends that were able to get in at IDO. They happened to get in at around, or ICO, happened to get in around 5 cents right now. It's already 6x. I'm going to show you guys
Happy
how
days.
you can trade that now. But the World Liberty Financial Token is going to become tradable and transferable. And basically, from what we're hearing, that is going to happen within 4 days. And there's some analysts predicting that this could hit $1 in the short term. And some people also coming out and saying that it could go to $3. But what we do need to talk about is why this coin is so important. This coin is going to be doing a lot of different things. And one of the biggest things is the fact that they are bringing out their very own stablecoin, which is called USD1. Now, what makes this a big thing? Whoop, I've just opened up every single tab but the one I've needed. There we go, the dollar upgraded. So what they're doing here with...
Who calls it the dollar upgrade?
Yeah, they've upgraded the dollar. They've given
it's still pegged against the US dollar.
Still a bit more boost or something, I don't know. You guys would have known if you've been on this call or been watching us that they launched what we call the Genius Act last week. And when they did that, they allowed for stable coins, more or less, or infrastructure for stable coins to launch and certain criteria that the government now looks at in order to deem a stable coin legitimate. Thing is a lot of these big institutional investors right now, they don't really want to go put a big amount of dollars into USDT. There's fears it's not backed and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yep.
But when you have the president of the United States launching his very own dollar-backed stablecoin, it does help to gain confidence. We know that he introduced the Genius Act himself, so he's going to make sure that his product is in line with the Genius Act to put it ahead of other stablecoins to make that the stablecoin infrastructure for the internet.
How do you feel about this?
I think it can go two ways. I think one, he is basically putting himself in a position where he's taking over the US dollar. I think it's going to cause a massive financial crisis coming into next year, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Do you reckon he's just? It's funny because I was actually like looking at this whole thing. Do you reckon he's just played this entire game
Maybe
really well?
He could have. It's
He's like, you know
genius.
what? We've got to put this Genius Act in place. You know, it's the next big thing, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, he's got all his whole team creating this USD one in the background in the hopes that it pumps up. I feel like he's just played this game.
Mate, he's
so well.
He's played it to the T, but now this is the thing, right? It's World Liberty Financial. It's going to be USDT. It's going to have DeFi. It's going to have a launch pad. It's going to have a whole bunch of different products, a bridge, and a whole bunch of other things, lending and borrowing. It's all coming soon. Now, knowing that lending and borrowing is coming soon, this is why right now I have got my eyes on, wait, let me just make sure I open the right tab, but I have my eyes open on Aave. So World Liberty Financial is going to be launched on the Ethereum blockchain, okay? Knowing that it's going to be launched on Ethereum blockchain, what is one of the biggest staking protocols on the Ethereum blockchain? There is Lido, there is also Aave. Why I'm watching Aave, though, is because what we can see here is Aave will receive 20% of the protocol fees generated by the World Liberty Financial Aave v3 instance, which is going to be their staking, borrowing, and lending product. Sorry. As well as that, they will also receive approximately 7% of the total circulating supply of World Liberty Financial tokens for participation in future World Liberty Financial governance procedures, liquidity mining, and promoting decentralization of World Liberty Financial platform. So Aave is heavily cemented into World Liberty Financial, and I think that Aave itself could benefit very hard once the whole lend and borrowing starts to be enabled on World Liberty Financial. But Matty, open up your coins to Aave, open up your chart to Aave, because let's take a quick look. It has pumped quite a bit over the last couple of days, but this is one coin. I've been screaming about this coin since like $160, man.
But you've been talking about it a lot.
Well, this is why. Like, I saw all of this coming. I was able to create some good gains on Aave early. It was actually one of the only coins that I traded that I barely lost on. But Matty, show us.
All right. I haven't charted this up in a very long time, guys, to be completely honest. We have a look at it every now and then. When Ced sort of says, hey, you know, something's happened on Aave, we'll have a quick gaze of it. But at the moment, Aave has broken out. I mean, the hard thing with this token, and I explained this to my community a little while ago, is its fluctuations, right? It fluctuates quite heavily. I mean, that one candle on a weekly time frame is 20%, only to then drop 20% again. So the volatility of this token is quite heavy. At the moment where it's at, you can see, if you look to the left, the all-time high on Aave was around $663. Do you remember when altcoins?
Oh, no.
And some of these altcoins were through the roof. And then gone into mass accumulation phase. But at the moment, when you're looking at Aave, and I'm looking at this, for me, if I'm looking at a potential like entry and I want to get consideration of Aave, I'm going to set something around $291, because right now you're up a little bit high, and at the bottom of the base here is where they've got the level of support. So for me, if I'm trading Aave, I want to get in at a reasonable level where I can have a healthy stop loss at play. But right now, I've just got to wait this one out, wait for it to pull back a little bit more. You can see there's a big order zone sitting here at around $280 to $290. So I'm just going to be waiting this one out. I'm not in any trades right now, guys. Full transparency, I said up 2%, down 3%, up 3% again. It's just not worth it for me right now. So, but I'll be waiting for this one. I mean, I set an alert there, see what happens, and then go from there.
I'll look at this and I say, all right, there's a dip coming. These are the coins that I want to be positioned in.
You love to hold.
Don't care. But there was one coin, Lido, that I held, and I held that for like 8 months negative, and I just kept dollar costing in, right? Just small positions. I think I legit started with $30 my first.
Yeah.
Right? $30, right? Right. This thing turned around the other day, and I collected. soon as it turned around, because I was dollar costing in, and you know what? It's only just done its first leg. If it starts to put in like an Elliott 5 waves, then by the time it gets to the end of that fifth leg,
Bit of a,
you know,
bit of a run.
it's a huge, huge run. So definitely taking a look at World Liberty Financial. Now, it hasn't launched yet, as I've said. It's going to be coming out in the next couple of days, but you can trade that now on some exchanges, some futures exchanges like Bybit, BitGet. I think maybe even Blowfin, they've put it on there as
Yes,
well.
I was looking at it yesterday on Blowfin.
Yeah, you can actually trade it right now, like an early kind of pre-launch. It's like a speculation.
It's still very low in the grand scheme. Like when you look at where it pumped, where it started,
Yeah.
and if you run your fib level from the top to the bottom, it's basically just retaking the 2-3 position. So for me, when I'm looking at this, I'm going, hey, it's still in a reasonable spot.
Well,
right?
personally, I think this could potentially run to $1.
Well, look, it just
There's
needs
a
to gain a
lot
little bit of momentum. I mean, it's got the US, the government tracking it down, right?
That's
It's
right.
wild.
That's right. For me,
Trying
it's
to
like,
Donald Trump equities is all over it.
you know what
So
it is, man? There's so many coins out there that have come out and they claim they're going to do this, and we're building this, and it's the next generation of money and all this shit.
of course.
Look at Yeezy. He came out last week and he's like, we're building Yeezy coin. It's decentralized money.
Where did that end
transfer."
up in the end?
Where'd that go, bro? It died. But then you look, the actual president is launching a coin. That is something that I want to be a part of. Now, this is not financial advice. You guys go do whatever you want to do. But me personally, I want to be involved somewhat way or form. I want to get some positions on it. I want to be positioned in a way that the coins that are going to benefit from it, I want to also benefit from them. So
Yeah.
that's how we're looking at that. So, okay, so World Liberty Financial is a go for this week. And another thing that Trump's already started to do as well. So, on the topic
This
of,
one here was wild. $0.5 billion.
bro, they are loading up massively on
But why
certain
Crow?
coins.
I don't get it.
Kronos.
Like, why out of everything I'm going to accumulate 50%? Like, here they jumped nearly 50% on Trump media.
Crazy.
6.5 billion into a crypto.com. Is there crypto.com shares we don't know about?
Well,
Like,
it must be.
What's going on there? Are they going to do an IDO launch or something?
So
an IPO, sorry, where they go public?
I'll tell you what I think it is, right?
It's a bit sus.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put this together. Okay? What does crypto.com offer?
Crypto.
At what type of what is it though exactly?
An exchange.
Right, they have a debit card.
But Matt, everyone's got a debit card.
But what doesn't World Liberty Financial have yet?
A debit card.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's not hard to make your own debit card. You go to
Doesn't
Visa and Mastercard, hey mate, can you make me a debit card in about 5 minutes?
I don't know. And this is just speculation. Maybe they're working together. Because obviously it takes a lot of infrastructure to be able to produce a debit card, an exchange, all of that.
But you leverage the Visa network and the Mastercard network.
There's more to it though, because if you go to spend a digital currency, if you go spend USDT,
Yes.
right? How does that USDT then get converted?
Yes.
Yeah, to become dollars. Where does the liquidity come from? All the bullshit that comes around it.
Of course.
So that makes me think, hey, World Liberty Financial, I personally think, may do something. This is all just speculation.
Very interesting.
The speculation that they're going to be doing something with crypto.com, potentially the Kronos blockchain, to then facilitate, hey, I've got this USD1. I want to go and spend it at Woolies and at Coles to go buy myself some food.
It's interesting because like I look at it and I go, you got crypto.com. It's not a US-based company. It's from Singapore.
Yeah.
You've got Bybit, who also have their own card.
Yes.
Has a lot probably deeper books than what Crow does.
Crow's pretty big, man. Like they're pretty big.
I get it.
They sponsor the AFL, yeah?
I know. Bybit also sponsors F1. Right?
That's true.
And so does crypto.com, to put it to that degree. But I'm just, something in the background is cooking there.
Yep.
Because no one goes ahead and buys $6.5 billion of fucking Kronos tokens.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Look, yeah.
Right? Something's going on for someone to go, I'm going to spend that much money on there.
So let's take a quick look at Kronos, because knowing now that Trump is seeing some potential in it, he's not just going to, he's obviously buying it because he wants to generate wealth, right? So he's not going to buy it and then dump it, because then he would be effectively losing money. You'd think that he'd want to get in and make some profit.
I'm telling you, I reckon I'm going to do some research on this. I think, and don't get me wrong, I don't know if this is true or not, and maybe look it up whilst I'm having a look at this.
Yeah.
But I reckon crypto.com might be going public or something.
Been a lot of companies that have.
Because it just doesn't add up in my books. We got to keep we've got to keep a tab on this one.
Yeah.
If these guys go public, it makes sense why you're going to put $6.5 billion in there. But otherwise, it just does not add up at all. I don't know. No one can convince me to buy $6.5 billion worth of Kronos tokens. I'm just going to put it that way. But when you're looking at the chart from here, man, this thing has gone absolutely vertical at 150%. Look, it's fantastic in a market at the moment where altcoins haven't really moved much at all. And this thing was in a mass accumulation phase. You can see it here down below. And then we had the breakout retest. And from there, it's just absolutely accelerated to all-time highs, realistically. It's absolutely pumped. Sorry, actually not all-time highs. That's right. This was out 2022. I actually had a card.
Yeah, this was huge. I still got my card sitting on my desk.
I threw it
the
out
metal card.
because I cracked the shits once they got rid of the rewards program.
And the fees on it were
And
massive.
the fees were huge. So look, hopefully, look, in the grand scheme of things, I do hope it pumps all the way back up so then whoever bought the top can get their money back from this bloody token.
So from what I'm seeing here is what they're going to be doing is they're going to be building a strategy, a reserve company on Crow, which is very bullish.
Okay.
Okay. And what they're also going to be doing is integrating Crow token into Truth Social. So they actually
Don't we have some Truth tokens?
No, that's different.
Yeah?
Truth Social
Okay.
is the US. Remember when Trump got taken off all social media platforms when he's like his last presidential campaign?
Yes.
He released his own social media platform called Truth. We can't access it here in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so they're going to integrate Crow in that. Well, they integrate the Crow blockchain.
That's it. This bloke's building his own ecosystem.
He is. No, he is.
He is literally funding
he is.
his own ecosystem from the presidential seat, signing every document he needs to get this over the line.
Right, that's what's called the Genius Act because he's a genius. He's putting it all together.
Wow.
So yes, I'm probably going to look for entries. Where would you look for your entries on Crow?
Oh,
Definitely a 61A retrace on that.
At the moment, I like keeping this very simple. This is going to pump back down a hell of a lot. That's where I'm looking.
Yeah,
you look back at the previous highs that were there. You're going to come back down for the retest. If I'm running fibs of this current pump, it lines up with the 618 and the 707.
Yeah.
So like from a range perspective, I'd be looking for anything in amongst here would be a potential entry versus going, hey, we're just going to keep going up and up and up. So I've already set an alert here. There goes Litecoin alert at 23 cents. And then I'll set one here at 21 and a bit. And basically, that's where I'd be looking for a pullback. I can't buy into tokens when they're pumped this hard. It's just wild.
I wait for the pullbacks. You know, that first leg gives you like the, hey, something's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wait for the correction, you get that big second leg because the second leg traditionally is usually bigger than the first. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, if you look at Elliott waves, you've got the first leg small, second leg big, and the third leg, that's the suckers rally. That's where everyone gets in and gets wrecked. So last coin that we're going to talk about before we look at two more altcoin charts and, you know, Matty's specific coin that he likes to look at every single call, but is Solana. So Solana has had incredible strength.
I'm going to hat off to Solana.
Mate, the strength on Solana is huge right now. Even though the fact Bitcoin's dumping, you know, usually Bitcoin dumps 2-3%. You see altcoins across the board down, 6-10%. But right now, Solana is showing huge resilience. If anything, it's almost about to flip green on the daily candle. And the reason for that is there is multiple companies that are coming out and doing investments firms for Solana. So one of them is Pantera Capital, and they're raising $1.25 billion.
We just got our Solana phone as well. We're invested in Solana Network now.
Solana phone's shit house, man. I can't believe I bought that thing. Honestly, it is.
Just want the airdrops.
It is such a shit phone. But the Pantera Capital raising $1.25 billion. And also, according to Bloomberg, Galaxy Digital, Multicoin Capital, and Jump Crypto are also in talks with potential backers to raise an additional $1 billion to acquire Solana. So you're seeing that right now people are getting excited that there's going to be, $2.25 billion worth of purchases coming into the Solana books. That's a lot of money. Like, put that into perspective. Some of the Bitcoin ETF flows, right? Let's go have a look on Farside. And the Bitcoin ETF flows were like, 300 million a day. Less. Look at this. So right now, the last 2 days, there's been, what's that say, 300, 400, call it $550 million of inflows in the last week, right? Where you're looking at billions coming in. So yeah, it's actually a massive thing to a coin that has such a small market cap, right? Obviously, if the coin has a smaller market cap, it can, like, these bigger amounts of volume that come in, push it harder.
Yes, of
right?
course.
So,
but it's a buying pressure. It's whether or not, hey, they're going to do it over time. Are they going to do it over a couple of days? It's usually over a period of time. But what I like about the fact of them investing money into the token is it builds the longer term strength.
it does,
Right?
but
Because if they're acquiring at these prices, in a realistic scenario, they don't want to see the price drop any longer. But it will.
That's
It always happens.
It can happen.
But
no doubt about it. But yes, if you're seeing big institutions, big companies, if you're seeing the president jump in on certain coins at certain prices, you think he's going to let them dump? Well, you know what? They might come down more. He might fill up his bags a bit more. But I think ideally his goal is to make money and push it up in the long run.
yes. Show this chart for a sec, Seds, because this here for Solana has been my chart that I've been following religiously for Solana. I've been following this every single Monday night. We have a look at this. We're nearly at the third target that I had put here for Solana token after the DCA pointed around $126. See, we had that breakout. Man, you guys can go back and watch these podcasts. This chart has not changed. Right now, I'm going to set an alert at 205, right? I expect a little bit of a pullback, re-cement this level as a key level of support, and then get the push back up towards $228. So realistically, the range between Solana at the moment, if we go between here, about 10% push. Now, if Bitcoin does bounce off this 109K level after attempts to put in another lower low and actually puts in that equal low, that's where I'm expecting prices to bounce for, especially for the altcoins as well, because when you look at the altcoin market at the moment, you've got red, and a lot of chop. So Solana, credit to it, it's done well. A couple of guys we know that do own a lot of Solana would be happy days right now. after maybe getting a little bit scared after the $126 drop, but it's looking very interesting.
It definitely does. So, look, before we wrap it up, Matty, I know you've got one coin that you want to show everyone, and you've also got a chart for another altcoin. But before we get into that, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to hit subscribe button. I noticed we didn't get too many likes on this video, so it didn't get pushed out too far. So maybe we should leave that altcoin for next week.
Oh, you know what? Tell me on my Monday call, I'll talk about my altcoin.
Well, guys, if anyone wants to have a look at Matty's analysis live as he shows our community, make sure to click the link in the description. I'm pretty sure I put it in there for you guys to access the Empire platform. But Matty, do your little Pepe. Come on.
All right, let's go. Bring the screen up. Guys, this is now one we're going to talk about because Little Pepe's at stage 12 on approach to stage 13. Put the frogs in the chat. Guys, you're watching. I know you're on the frog chat. Adrit's already in there putting the frogs in. I saw people talking about it. But guys, Little Pepe, stage 12, now currently has raised nearly $24 million. This is either going to be the greatest rug of all time or a very, very big valuation for Little Pepe when it gets launched. Now, the thing to remember here, guys, is as each of these stages go through, the actual gap in terms of how much they're looking to raise is expanding along with it. So right now you can see that we've got nearly 95% of stage 12 filled, but it's taking a lot longer to fill. So by the end of stage 19, I think it was from memory, so we've got 6 more stages, it's looking at about a $50 million raise, or $52 million. They've got to double this raise before the launch. So keep an eye on it. I'm monitoring it. I always just get a little cheeky alert on my phone from X to say, hey, milestone hit, milestone hit. But I'm not getting caught up in the fact of, hey, when are my tokens being released? I know what I brought into. I know the fact that this may take another 2 months to fill up and it might not launch till 2026, and it is what it is. But I'm happy I've got skin in the game on this one. Even if it is a rug, I've only risked what I wanted to lose. But at the same time, I'm quite excited. I'm having fun with this one. I was saying to Seds today, I said,
I just got a message from Luke.
We don't have to always be stressed out about this stuff. You know, have fun with it. Enjoy the process. Just like we did with Fox Token too.
Fox Token was that pumped, that done. Just got a message from Luke. He goes, FUKK Little Pepe scam.
Who's that, Luke and Zello? Oh, mate.
Oh, Lukey. It's Matty's favorite coin, man. I've been saying for ages, this coin, it's high risk. Could go to zero, could go to big bucks. But either way, this is definitely a gamble, man.
I'm going to get a 10x.
Yeah, I hope you do, bro. I hope you do. If you don't, man, we have to go play roulette table and double it back up to make back what you lost.
Oh, it is what it is.
Guys, thank you.
Oh, wait. Before we wrap it up, we got our event next Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so guys, we are going to be running an in-person event in Melbourne. If you are around, there's like 10 tickets left out of 120. We've almost sold out.
It is nearly sold out.
Make sure that you come past. It's going to be a free event, little crypto information night. We're going to be giving away some prizes. And you've already got it there?
Yeah. So guys, you want to have a look here. Melbourne, 4th of September. It says we're going to be giving away a bunch of prizes. There's got over 100 people coming to this event, so I can't wait. It's also the week before I leave, so we're probably going to have a cheeky few drinks after the event as well.
Now, look, so I want to put a hold to that. I want to put a hold to that.
Oh, look, we've gone to a few tickets left.
There's actually only a couple left.
There you go.
I want to just say something on that.
All right, tell me.
So, guys, a little bit of an overview. Maddie and I have worked together on Empire for about 2 years, right? Maddie finally went full-time in Empire about 6 months ago. And in that first week, he said to me, he goes, Ceds, we need a plan for the company, do all this planning, right? On that day, we were doing the planning. He goes, yep, so we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And on the last dot point, he goes, oh, and I'm going to go to Europe at the end of the year. And I was like, oh, yeah, mad, you're going for a holiday. He goes, nah, I'm going to go live there for 2.5 years. So I almost killed him, all right? Thankfully, I didn't. But now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to send him off well, all right? Because we're going to have to give him the royal send-off. So, yes, there's going to be plenty of drinks.
We're going to have a great time.
Not 2 drinks. We're going to do the event, and then we're going to go and send it all together. So make sure that you come.
Look,
and if you're an Empire Premium member, you will be invited to the after party.
The thing is as well, right, we're going to be realistic. We are growing. We are doing extremely well. The company's starting to pump. We've got Empire 2.0 coming out. We want to be based in the prime time zones because then we can give our members the absolute best research possible. As soon as you guys wake up, you got it at your fingertips. You've got 24/7 crypto news coming out, plus chat groups, mate. We're going to be flying.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
And we're going to be hosting an event in the Amalfi Coast next year.
Yes, we will.
I don't think anyone's going to be complaining about that one.
Don't give away too much yet, but yeah, we will be doing an event in Japan.
And in the circle, you get it made. It's happy days.
That's it, guys. So we're going to leave it at that for tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed today's call. We apologize once again for the technical difficulties that we had, but thank you for being with us during that process. Make sure you like, you subscribed. We'll be back next Friday for more alpha, for more live analysis, and yeah.
Maybe I might give away something next week.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We'll see how we go.
Are you going to give away your Pokemon cards?
Definitely not giving away the Pokemon cards.